Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. Marvel recently released the trailer for WandaVision series, and yet again, they have done something that's completely different from any of their previous movies. In this video, we'll take a look at how MCU reached to a point where they are able to create a part sitcom and part Marvel epic with two titular Marvel characters whom we have seen mostly fighting in battlefields in previous movies. When MCU started back in 2008 with Iron Man, the trend at that time was to make movies that are dark and are very much grounded and close to the real world. The Dark Knight trilogy that started in 2005, directed by Christopher Nolan, was a huge success because of its realistic take on Batman. Entire trilogy had huge impact on cinema and the culture. However, that sort of realism and darkness would complement Batman and his world, but not all superheroes are dark. On top of that, Christopher Nolan also likes to tell his story with the characters that are closer to the real world so we can relate to them. At that time, most of the movies were following the same trend and had a sense of realism to better connect with the audience. When Iron Man 1 hit the theaters, the world inside the movie was pretty much based in real world, with a guy who was narcissistic and a tech genius. The villain of this movie, Obadiah Stane, was also someone who was a businessman and a business rival of Tony Stark. The makers of the movie wanted to have Mandarin, a comic book fan favorite, as the villain of the first movie, but since having Mandarin would not be realistic, they went ahead with Obadiah Stane. The one thing they nailed though was the character of Iron Man with the casting of Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man 1 was a huge hit back in 2008 and took everyone by surprise. This paved the way for Marvel Studios to bring other Marvel characters in MCU starting with Hulk, Black Widow, Thor, and Captain America. Even when Thor Part 1 was released, Thor had spent most of the time on Earth instead of Asgard, and Thor is a complete cosmic character. The movie did serve well for the character development of Thor, however, it still played safe according to that time. Captain America, the first Avenger, was more of a period drama, which gave Marvel some freedom to move away from today's real world and allowed them to explore World War II era with not just skinny Steve Rogers but even Red Skull, and they also introduced Tesseract, which was going to play an important role in Marvel's next movie. When the time came to assemble Earth's mightiest heroes, there had to be a threat no single hero could defend. This led Marvel to go ahead with a villain who had to be larger than life and move away from the realistically grounded world. The Avengers was a phenomenal success, and it gave confidence to the studio that they can make character driven stories that need not be grounded in real world and can have total freedom about where they want their character to go next. Iron Man 3 also went in similar direction and finally had Mandarin as its villain, though in the end we find out that he's not the real Mandarin. Thor the Dark World also moved further in the cosmic direction. However, it was 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy which was Marvel's biggest risk. But it paid off, where Marvel went full cosmic and made a movie that exists completely in space and it had a talking tree and a raccoon with a blaster gun. Audiences were completely blown away by that movie. It was one of the most successful movies at the box office in 2014. Avengers Age of Ultron took a step further in mystical world and introduced Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver, who got their powers from the Mind Stone, which was inside Loki's scepter. Marvel took yet another bold step and they started exploring the world of magic and mystical arts inside MCU by introducing the Sorcerer Supreme himself, Doctor Strange. Even though he was a mystical and larger than life character, they still made him relatable, and yet he fought a villain in the climax who does not even have a complete physical form, and it's still one of the best scenes of Doctor Strange. After the mixed reception of Thor 2, Marvel and Chris Hemsworth also decided to take a different approach for Thor Ragnarok and went full cosmic and more light-hearted in tone with director Taika Waititi on board. It was the first Thor movie that took completely in space except for a couple of scenes with Odin and Doctor Strange on Earth. On top of that, they added Hulk to that movie and now it was a Thor and Hulk buddy movie in a distant world. Thor Ragnarok surprised everyone and was one of the highest grossers of 2017. Marvel also introduced Ant-Man and the concept of micro-universe, which was going to play a very important role in the future Marvel movies. Marvel had won the audiences over and over by this time. The message was clear. Audiences were ready to see anything that Marvel would release. They had the confidence that they will get the best story out of any movie that Marvel will release, while remaining faithful to their characters, and Marvel did not disappoint. When Avengers Infinity War released, Marvel had reached to a point where they had a villain who was a titan with god level powers and who wanted to have 6 Infinity Stones to erase half the life from existence to bring balance to the universe. 10 years back, no one would have thought that we would reach this place in comic book movies. We are living in a very fortunate times where we are getting to see all these characters that we used to watch in Saturday morning cartoons or only in comic books in our childhood. Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame smashed all the box office records, with Avengers Endgame becoming the highest grossing movie of all time. With WandaVision, MCU is getting a lot more weirder and it's now tapping into multiverse for the first time, where Wanda and Vision are living through the last 6 decades of television sitcom in an alternate reality. Vision is back from dead and they are going to have a family now. From realistic to cosmic to microverse to magic and now multiverse. And with the number of series and movies announced for Phase 4, there is no doubt Marvel will continue to explore new subjects and genres and surprise us with each new release. So what do you think of this MCU's journey so far? And are you excited for WandaVision? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button for more such content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe.